So I've had the ALF appliance in for about an hour now on the top and bottom teeth. You can kind of see it. You can see it there. Top and bottom teeth. But what was interesting is that just before he put it on, and it was two people. One is the like the holistic dentist, and the other one was the cranial osteopath. So they work with each other in Sydney, and basically the dentist was the one who fitted the thing in, and then the osteopath kind of works with the cranial bones in your skull, and was fiddling around with them. I'm honestly not too sure what he's doing there, other than adjusting slight things. But he seems to obviously know what he's talking about. And he was actually the one who told me to do the tongue tie initially in the first place. But what was really interesting is that they put it in, and then they were like, oh, well, now check to see what it's like in the head. And he was like, oh, well, I don't really feel much difference there. So they then took it out, and then he was working on the tightness in my neck, and then also the tightness in my right shoulder, which relates to the sports injury that I had years ago. So it all kind of, ties in. And once he had released that, and specifically he did something, just behind my right shoulder, which is, as I described at the time, one of the most, probably the most painful kind of treatment I've had to undergo, which is interesting. So tight in there. Usually I've been doing like the front of the pec, like at the side of the pec here, but this is like kind of just behind my shoulder blade. So he's basically saying, yeah, you need to really, get us one of those spiky balls in there. Thankfully I've actually got one at home, which I bought about 6 months ago now. But yeah, so once he tightened that up, then he was, doing that massage stuff. Then they put the device in, and he was like, yeah, now it's definitely feeling a lot better. Interestingly, I think as soon as he had done all the stuff with the right shoulder, I felt that my speaking was a lot more supported by my breath, which is interesting. And I'm not sure if it was, I'm sorry, I'm not really sure if it was just after he put the ALF in, or just after he had done the that stuff to my just under my right shoulder. So I'll be keen to see obviously how I sleep tonight. I will say the breathing's not necessarily better, like I think they said before, and you got to be careful, like if people are out for your money, which I wouldn't be surprised if like people are, that's at the end of the day, that's what practitioners are in it for, to some degree, but it's like I was told that, like, there's some people who they breathe better, immediately through their nose, and I don't have that. But what I do have is that it's because of the uncomfortable nature of the fact that I've got something there. It's like the tongue is always kind of trying to stay there, because it's like what is that, just trying to get it off. That's what it kind of feels like in there. And also at the back, like here and there, where the connection is, there's now like you can, when you bite together, you can feel it very strongly there and there. And that's going to definitely take a bit of getting used to. Like this, I can feel that right at the back there. Now the point of the ALF appliance in the first place is because it's got, and this is what he was explaining to me today, it basically applies gentle pressure just on the inside of the teeth, right? Applies gentle pressure there, which then basically feeds the cranium and basically every part of the skull, because it basically needs that feedback in a way. So when you don't have that, proper pressure, equal pressure, it's not able to reverberate around the skull and get it to develop properly. And interestingly, when I told him about the fractured shoulder incident, he said that it may be a case of the genetics played a role in stopping that whole thing healing properly. That's what he said. He was like, it's a chicken or the egg situation. He's not sure if the shoulder injury, which affects the neck, which affects this stuff, he's not sure if that, because he was basically saying, like, you know, this is injured, that like an impacts on this, and that kind of like can twist the cranial bones, etc. And it's not like a massive twist, it's just like a slight thing, but it can obviously have a big impact, you know, on your nervous system and all sorts of things. So, but yeah, he was saying that, like, yeah, he's not sure what's caused what, like in what order, but certainly, obviously, something has not gone quite right, which is why I'm trying to undo all these years of bad habits and stuff, which partly in my control, partly not. But yeah, that's basically it so far, and I'm really keen to see how I go sleeping tonight, because I'll be like, I know that after the tongue surgery I definitely was sleeping better, not like heaps better, but definitely better. That tongue was to the roof of the mouth, and after he did that neck adjustment and stuff and the shoulder, my tongue was able to go higher. I think I started at 29 millimeters, like it was 29, and now it's 39, like after the appointment today, so which is a massive difference, which is great. So I'm hoping that tonight, when the tongue's at the roof of the mouth, I'll be able to sleep a lot better, which would be amazing. But yeah, it's not like I put it on and then suddenly I could be breathing like that. It wasn't like that, and and I know that this treatment is like a gradual thing, so it could take, you know, several months to see some actual big changes. Because basically it's applying gentle pressure, and like if you do really hard pressure on this stuff, you can have a situation where, you know, your teeth grow wide like way too quickly, and then like they recently had someone come in because there was this girl who came in and her teeth was so far apart, and they actually have to, you know, do the opposite, kind of bring it back a bit, because then you can kind of, I think it's like kind of like your hard palate can kind of collapse in a way. I'm just saying the stuff that I've been told, so I kind of should go off that. But that's my experience so far with the ALF after just getting it in. I haven't seen many videos of people getting the ALF in, so I thought it would be cool to show, and I certainly hadn't heard of it before, so hopefully you can learn from my experience with it, and if it's going to help with singing and breathing at night and all sorts of things, I'll be really keen to find that out. As you can see, it's quite an effort to talk with it on, getting a lot of saliva, as I said, and mumbling quite a bit, so yeah, forgive me for that. But yeah, no, I'll let you know how it goes tomorrow, when I wake up, and hopefully I'll have good things to report. I'll see you all soon.